I used to be alone a lot. I didn't think anyone could relate to me. But my counselor has helped me to better understand my emotions and not let them take over. I feel much more confident now and have made some great new friends. My aunt has cancer and I used to feel overwhelmed a lot of the time, but a nurse is helping us now. She comes to the house to give my aunt her medication and help her with her physiotherapy. Before the nurse came along, I had to do a lot of it myself, and sometimes I would miss school. My aunt seems so lonely too. My aunt's nurse also introduced her to other people going through the same thing. She seems a lot happier and has a new best friend. She's 82.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Friday, October 14th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. Bermuda can now boast being a year-round cruise ship destination, says Transport Minister Lawrence Scott, and he's confident next year could see a record number of visits. Today, he said Bermuda has welcomed 127 cruise calls so far in 2022, with more than 310,000 passengers. The estimated economic activity so far is $131.5 million. $28.2 million above original projections. There are 39 more calls scheduled this year and a further 63.7 thousand passengers expected. The estimated economic impact for the entire year is $156.1 million, $53.1 million above projections. There are 24 cruise calls scheduled in January to March next year. And with COVID testing set to end shortly, Minister Scott said 2023 could set a new record.
Now that Bermuda has opened up with COVID-19 testing ending as of the 25th of October, Bermuda is even more attractive. 2023 is shaping to be a record year with 222 cruise ship calls on the books. Starting with this season, we, Bermuda, can now boast about being a year-round cruise destination.
Premier David Byrd has conceded there have been no new appointments to the Tax Reform Commission. The primary focus for tax discussions in recent months, he said, is the global tax agreement that may impact international business. Responding yesterday to Gary Foster Skelton's questions on tax reform, the Premier said the government is working on ideas ahead of the pre-budget report due in November.
In the budget, you did say near and medium-term tax revenues would increase with the recommendations of the new Tax Reform Commission. Can you tell us who's on that Tax Reform Commission and what their recommendations are?
There are no recommendations at this time insofar as the Tax Reform Commission. The view that has been taken is what we want to make sure to do is to focus on the international tax aspects first, because that is something that is critically important as we're running up to the global tax agreement. On the domestic side, those are discussions that are still ongoing with the Ministry of Finance. But to be very specific, the specific appointments to the Tax Reform Commission have not yet been made.
This has been a matter going on since 2017, and we had the Tax Reform Commission report in 2018 with very little really happening from it. And what do you say to Bermudians who think after 5 years this government doesn't know how to reform our tax system?
Well, that's a very interesting question. From the Tax Reform Commission report, which was given in 2018, those things were examined. I have looked at that report. I know that we're producing a pre-budget report in the Ministry of Finance to come out on November 30th. So I would not accept what the perspective which you're saying that the government doesn't know the direction. But what is important is that these things are discussed, analyzed, put out to consultation, and are not dropped on budget day. But the reformation and the new impetus for the Tax Reform Commission that was passed by the former Minister of Finance in 2020, the focus was on how do we implement the international tax agreement that has been signed up to by Bermuda, which is implementing a minimum corporate tax of 15%. And so from that perspective, that is what the drive and impetus for that was.
A 34-year-old man was remanded to Westgate today after admitting to a spree of burglaries and 2 serious traffic collisions saw 4 people treated in hospital. Here are the details. Melvin Holdit pled guilty in magistrate's court to 10 counts of burglary and 4 counts of theft, totaling over $5,000 worth of goods and an additional $1,500 worth of property damage. Police said officers investigated reports of break-ins at 5 businesses, including the Warwick Price Right, Robin Hood Pub and Restaurant, and North Village Community Club, both in Pembroke, Ocean View Golf Course in Devonshire, and the A1 Marketplace in Smiths between the 30th of August and October 11th. He was caught on CCTV, seen stealing alcohol hardware tools in day and nighttime raids. Officers later arrested him while caught in the act of another burglary. Sentencing will be carried out at a later date. 3 people suffered injuries following a head-on collision along Rising Sun Stretch on Middle Road, Southampton. It happened around 8 last night. Female motorcyclist was briefly rendered unconscious due to a head wound. A 31-year-old man sustained a broken leg and suspected broken arm. All 3 were taken to hospital for further treatment, and both motorcycles were written off. In another incident, a 32-year-old Smiths Parish motorcyclist was traveling east on St. John's Road in Pembroke around 4 p.m. Thursday. He struck the back of an eastbound SUV that had become stationary. He then fell into the path of a truck traveling in the opposite lane, ending up underneath the truck. EMTs removed him while conscious, and he was treated at the hospital for his injuries, which were not considered life-threatening. The driver of the SUV, a 72-year-old Pembroke man, and the driver of the truck, a 46-year-old Pembroke man, were uninjured. And we'll have more for you after this short break, including the weather news. Stay with us.
It's such a beautiful day for the World Triathlon, but the only thing missing here is the fans. We have Mr. Photogenic ready for his race. One fan there. He's been preparing, training with Flora Duffy, rumor has it. So he should be very, very prepared for this race. I'm not sure what's going on with the life vest and the armbands, but he is number 301, representing the 441 here on Front Street, Hamilton, Bermuda. This proud to be Bermudian fan might be VIP. Oh no, Mr. Photogenic in the water before the race. Looks like he might have been startled by the superfan. Our security, can we please get this man away from the starting point and behind the fence? Thank you.
Hey Bermuda, join us in the city of Hamilton on November 5th and 6th to cheer us on.
It's not the same without you. We want your energy.
Hi, my name is Nick Thompson and I'm the founder and president of Scooter Mart. Thanks to your support, you've helped Scooter Mart become one of the fastest growing companies in Bermuda. As a young person, I tried buying a bike and I know how difficult it can be. I wasn't impressed with the products or service I found, and you probably haven't been either. I knew there could be a better way. That's why I started Scooter Mart. We give exceptional service and the best prices every time.
Scooter Mart, well worth going to visit.
These guys at Scooter Mart are awesome.
We endorse and support Scooter Mart for the quality product and the care of sales and service.
I would recommend any and everybody to go to Scooter Mart and get every and everything that they need.
I could not have made a better choice than going to the Scooter Mart.
I would recommend going to Scooter Mart because you'll get great service there.
I personally guarantee when you buy a bike from Scooter Mart, you'll have the best experience you've ever had.
10 days to finding love and happiness. 10 dynamic days to make a difference. We hope to improve your health. We hope to improve your finances. We hope to improve your relationships. We want to bring to the Warwick community 10 days to finding love and happiness. October the 16th at the Warwick Seventh-day Adventist Church, 7 p.m. Be there. We're going to have good music. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have fun. But especially, we're going to have 10 days to finding love and happiness. See you there.
Have your scan at HMC Burnaby Urgent Care and Medical Imaging, which has Bermuda's most up-to-date imaging equipment, providing optimal imaging quality using lower radiation compared to older scanners. The European Society of Radiology states that the replacement of radiological equipment older than 10 years is essential. The Canadian Radiology Association's life cycle guidelines for CT and MRI scanners are 8 and 6 years respectively. Do insist that your doctor sends you for your next scan, whether MRI, CT, X-ray, mammography, bone density, or ultrasound, to HMC. Due to the Supreme Court's ruling, all scans are covered by your insurance, including HIP and Future Care. While the Health Council continues to appeal that court decision, it remains in place. HMC Burnaby, up-to-date, better, and safer technologies. HMC.BN. It's your right to choose.
Shop at the marketplace for everyday low prices. Look for the items marked with these special signs. These deeply reduced prices are available in every department and are in effect for 1 month, allowing customers to take advantage of these great deals for a longer period. Everyday low prices is part of our commitment to providing high-quality, affordable items while reducing the cost of groceries for our hard-working customers. The Marketplace. You can count on us.
Derelict vessels not only damage the sensitive marine environment, but they also pose health risks to the public. That's according to charity Keep Bermuda Beautiful as they begin the second phase of their abandoned boat removal project. The project launched in January with the goal of removing 54 vessels from different areas. Eloisa Mayers has the details.
Abandoned vessels plague Bermuda's waterways. Not only are they a navigation hazard, but they also raise concerns for public safety. When a boat sinks, it leaches oil, acid, and fuel into the water, polluting sensitive corals and marine life. Swimmers can also encounter the dangerous mix of chemicals. KBB President Stephen Smith explains how many derelict vessels have been taken out of the water so far.
To date, we have removed a total of 15 boats of the initial 53 that we identified. Fundraising also has been very good for this so far, and we've raised $115,000 to remove those first 54 boats out of the water. And we've identified a further 31 boats that need to be removed. And so after the first 54 are completed, we will begin the process of getting the contracts together with the operators, the marine contractors, to remove those 31 boats.
The organization has tackled boats in Ely's Harbor, Riddles Bay, and Great Bay. They're now starting to fundraise to remove the next 31 vessels from Spanish Point, Foot of the Lane, Mills Creek, and Duck's Puddle. Removing a boat can cost between $1,000 to $15,000 per vessel. To take 31 out of the water, it's going to cost around $66,000. KBB is in need of donations to keep the project going, but they're also seeking ideas for long-term solutions.
We have put together a working group to try and come up with a permanent solution. So just for example, we learnt that there's no mandatory insurance for boats. So you can just buy your boat and drive off. It's not like cars, you don't have to have insurance. And that means that often if the boat is damaged or sinks, there's no insurance to cover removal, and that can be really expensive. So, it's a deterrent to people.
If you do own a boat and are unable to deal with it, the government will step in to assist.
If you're unable to take responsibility for the boat, you can sign it over to the government to be removed at no cost to yourself. And so when we get after the 30-day period and we get the list back from government of now the boats that have cleared and are now the property of the government, KBB then facilitates the marine contractors to remove the boats.
The project is a joint initiative between KBB, the Ministry of Transport, Public Works, and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Government does not provide financial assistance, but they help to facilitate the removal of derelict vessels. KBB's next step is to develop recommendations for the government to consider about the time vessels are left sunken or abandoned. They hope this will reduce pollution and rid Bermuda of a hazardous blight on the coastline. Eloisa Mayers for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
To find out more on how you can assist KBB, visit their website at kbb.bm. Well, the legacy of a distinguished sports Hall of Famer is set in stone with a newly upgraded park in Northeast Hamilton honoring the life of Dudley Eve Sr. It's all a part of the Corporation of Hamilton's strategic plan to beautify and celebrate the island's unique culture. Alfred Dudley Tucker Eve Sr. was raised with his family in a home close to the corner of Dundonald and Court Street between 1942 and 1962. It served as a playground, bringing the tightly knit Northeast Hamilton neighborhood together. The park has been revitalized with a mural painted by artist Alshante Fogo and a new staircase added to honor the late 2004 Hall of Fame inductee. Hamilton Mayor Charles Gosling said in 2009 he made some inquiries on who owned the property.
It was one of the banks, but that it was promised to our government. Well, unfortunately for some, that transaction never took place, and when the opportunity arose, I presented it to the council, and we collectively seized the day.
It was eventually purchased by the corporation in 2012. The city council were tasked with naming the park after a Bermudian who made significant social contributions to the island. Dudley Eve Sr. was a top contender, known for his talent as a football and cricket administrator.
He was affectionately dubbed the Gentle Giant and was known for his exceptional organizational skills, particularly with regards to football. As a testament to his involvement and dedication to the sport, he was honored in 1978 by having a competition named after him, the Dudley Eve Cup.
Most notably, he spearheaded the merge of black and white football leagues into one, now known as the Bermuda Football Association. His son, Alfred Eve Jr., praised Councillor Roseanne Edwards, who he said fought, quote, tooth and nail behind the scenes to see the project through.
Hopefully, the park will enable people to come, visit, and explore, and have a good look at what Dudley Eve was about.
Tech-savvy visitors can scan the park's QR code that links to a short documentary to learn more on the life and legacy of Dudley Eve Sr. And live entertainment hosted by Made in Bermuda Nights at the park tonight from 7:30 to 10 p.m. in celebration of the park's upgrade. Well, let's head over to AccuWeather now for the latest weather picture.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group proudly presents tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm meteorologist Mark Mancuso with you. And let's take a look at our weather headlines. Well, we have a front approaching. That'll give us a lot of clouds and some showery spells on Saturday. But it does look like our weather will start to improve Sunday. Perhaps a leftover morning shower. After that, we'll see some brighter conditions. And it looks pretty nice here early next week. Any showers would be isolated. So as we take a look at our satellite picture for you, a lot of moisture is approaching here as a trough in front approach. This is the way it looks on our estimated radar from the satellite. And you see the green blobs indicating the showers that are approaching our area. And as we take a look at conditions this evening, well, it's mild, plenty of clouds around. Temperatures pretty uniform, a blanket of clouds in the upper 70s. Winds coming in from the south-southeast. Water temperature near 80, waves inside the reef about 1 to 2 feet, outside the reef about 3 to 5 feet. Here come your tides. Our next high tide a little bit after midnight, 12:36 a.m. on Saturday. Low tide early Saturday morning, 6:16. High tide a little bit after lunch. And the low tide tomorrow evening around 6:33. How's the forecast look? Well, it looks kind of cloudy. Overnight tonight, plenty of clouds. Our temperatures will stay in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, lots of clouds with us, so rather cloudy. There'll be some showers around. Temperatures will stay in the 70s. Let's go down to the Caribbean, check out the forecast here. Jamaica, a shower thunderstorm. Barbados could see a rumble of thunder. Same is true in Trinidad. Otherwise, it's clouds and sunshine. What's brewing in the tropics? Well, the only game is Carl, which is weak and moving into Mexico. As we take a look at that gateway forecast, kind of cool and showery in Toronto. New York, whoa, looks bright and beautiful. Boston looks gorgeous. Atlanta, some wonderful weather. Temperatures here near 80 with sunshine. Miami could see a storm on the prowl in the afternoon hours especially. We're in the mid-80s. And in London, a little cool and a little bit damp. A little bit of wet weather is in the forecast. Okay, let's go to the future now and take a look at our future cast. Well, here comes the wet weather that'll be moving in later tonight and into the day on Saturday as this trough and weak front does approach there. There could be a few lingering showers into early Sunday, but then after that, this all should pull off towards the east. Weak high pressure builds in, and it should be pretty nice. Nothing brewing in the tropics. That's good. So here's our extended forecast. A showery day on Saturday, but improving Sunday. Nice weather to start off the week with some sunshine. Temperatures in the low 80s.
It's hurricane season. Here are some tips from BF&M. Before a storm, make sure you have a family plan. Stock up on food and water and protect your home. Board up and make sure your insurance policies are up to date. After a storm, check everyone's safety, especially seniors. Inspect your property and secure from further damage. Then note the damages, list, and take photos. Remember, you can always count on BF&M 24/7 during hurricane season and all year round.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
The Mount St. Agnes Schools Bazaar is back starting tonight, featuring all your favorite games and food. It's taking place on Dundonald Street West tonight and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Kendall Trott has more.
The annual Mount St. Agnes Bazaar is back with a theme, Return with the Magic. After a 2-year hiatus, Mount St. Agnes said they're back and better than before, hoping to draw crowds to the annual fundraiser to cover the cost of students' bursaries and tuition. Principal Ana Faria Machado believes the fair helps build community.
So this is a decades-old tradition here at MSA, and it really is a fundraiser, of course, but more than that, it helps build community. So our students work together to decorate class stalls and have a friendly competition. Alumni and parents come in and they have competition for their stalls as well. So all the games run independently, but it's all together. Like, it brings all of our present family, alumni, everyone back in together, and it takes days and days and weeks to paint, to prepare, and so now we finally get to enjoy.
Like many schools, the committee chair, Kimberly Hines, said the school has faced challenges over the past 2 years.
So it was a real challenge getting back after COVID. We had missed 2 years, so we are finally getting back in the swing of things. It was almost like starting a bazaar from the scratch because a lot of our people had retired, their children had gone from Mount St. Agnes, everything had been in storage. So now we're really excited to be up and running again. The bazaar is the major fundraiser for Mount St. Agnes. It's the biggest one. Mount St. Agnes gives out a huge amount of bursaries and help for students to come here. It is a private school, but we pride ourselves on having one of the lowest tuitions, and we have really working families. So we need to have a way to make sure that our tuition stays manageable and that we can still enjoy all of the fun stuff. So the bazaar really helps us do that.
Crowds can expect the usual fun and fanfare. There will be cotton candy stalls, a dunk tank, a raffle prize draw, and of course, it wouldn't be a fair without a food court. This is Kendall Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
While tattoos have been gaining in popularity for years, there's one group of people who are still hesitant to get them: corporate professionals whose colleagues and bosses often see them as a taboo. But now there might be a way around this, as Julie Matthews-Bouchard reports.
Whether you're old school or new school, tribal, script, or ultra-realistic, when it comes to the art of tattooing, it seems there's a genre for everyone. Tattoos date back thousands of years, and today, the ancient art form is just as popular as ever. And among the like-minded, tattoos can even be icebreakers. But for those who are concerned that they might be deal breakers in the corporate world, a new genre of tattoos has been gaining in popularity, and it's virtually invisible.
Sometimes they do it like to hide something behind the tattoo. We can combine it with any other types and techniques of tattoo as a highlight or something that you want to add. The main difference of it from the traditional tattoo is only the ink. So the process of putting it on the skin is mainly the same.
UV tattoos, or glow-in-the-dark tattoos as they are commonly known, are unique in that they are barely visible to the human eye under regular lighting. In fact, the only way to see them properly is in special UV or black light, so they're ideal for night out clubbing, but remain concealed during daylight hours. Years ago, there were concerns about the toxicity of the ink used to create this effect. But today, the ink is not only vegan, but completely safe.
Because of modern techniques, they were able to produce organic inks, which is vegan friendly, which is more safe, and it doesn't have the toxic chemicals anymore, which is what we use now here in the studio.
Like traditional tattoos, UV tattoos are permanent and can last up to 30 years or more. But for those who are having a hard time choosing a unique design that they'll have to live with for decades, there is a unique solution.
There are people who want a tattoo that can be seen like a portrait of someone, but they don't want to put the actual portrait on their skin, so they use the QR code instead. So they put the QR code on their skin and then they can just scan it.
With QR tattoos, while the code tattooed onto your skin remains permanent, you have the freedom to keep the images stored private, and of course, to change the images to suit your moods. Julie Matthews-Borchard for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And more news coming up after the break. We'll be right back.
To our valued customers, Big Savings Zone will be having a clearing out moving sale you don't want to miss. That's Big Savings Zone in St. David's.
You can count on us. Save $2.50 on a 3-pound bag of yellow onions, only $3.99. Fresh boneless sirloin chops, $3.99 per pound. Select varieties of bowl and basket, shredded cheese, 8-ounce package, hot price $3.29. Save $2 on Mazola corn oil, 32-ounce bottle, hot price $6.99. Save $1.50 on Dole fruit bowls, 4-pack, only $4.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can count on us.
Every day I go to school for breakfast. My friends and I all eat together before our first class. It's my favorite part of the day. Without breakfast, I would be hungry and I wouldn't do well in my class. Maths is my favorite subject. I don't like English class, but my English tutor helps me, and I'm doing a lot better this year. Before, I felt lost, alone, and confused. After school, I go to art class. It's my second favorite part of the day. My after-school art instructor says I have a talent for watercolors. I love painting the ocean. I don't know what I would do without my art class. My parents both work late and can't pick me up after school. This year, I made it onto honor roll for the first time. I was so excited and proud to stand up in assembly in front of all my friends.
And a programming note now, Bermuda Broadcasting will not be airing the documentary Truth Be Told on Sunday as advertised because of an ongoing Supreme Court case. We might reconsider airing the program after the full conclusion of that case. And on another programming note, thanks to our network affiliate CBS, Bermuda Broadcasting will feature an NFL doubleheader on Sunday. It's the Baltimore Ravens versus New York Giants at 2 p.m. and the Buffalo Bills against Kansas City Chiefs at 5:25 p.m. And that's our newscast. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thanks for joining us. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Good night.
Jasmine's wardrobe this evening provided by Orange Bay Company.